Hello and welcome to episode 88 of the Say Hey podcast, part of the Believe Podcast Network. I'm Doug Hayes, aka Say Hey Doug. It is November 9th, 2022. Bringing in my co-host, as always, Say Hey Rob. Happy Wednesday, my man. How's it going, brother?
Happy Wednesday, Douglas. Lovely to be with you here tonight. Man, what a crazy last week we had. Our man, mild friend Dusty Baker, became a world champion. He finally checked that last box on the resume. And now, what do you think? Do you think he's going to retire now?
I don't know.
Again?
Kind of tying in all like my thoughts into your question there. Like, first of all, I'm whatever about the Astros winning the World Series. Great.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm happy for Dusty, and I know there's a lot of Dusty haters out there, especially Giants fans for 2002. But whatever, dude. Like, we've won 3 cents. Like, move on. Dusty's a good dude. Like, he's always been good to the sport of baseball. He went in and took over troubled Astros franchise, and got him back to the top, and here they are. And for him, I'm super happy for him. I know he's been waiting a long time for this, and I don't know. I think the competitor in him, maybe he wants to go one more round and see if he can defend it, and if not, I'll say this: I don't think he goes beyond 2023. I think, but I don't know. You haven't talked to him in years, so I mean,
yeah. It's been about 25 years since we crossed paths, but yeah, very happy for him. But to be totally honest, I didn't watch a lot of that series. I would just kind of tune in and see what the score was and be like, okay, well, Dusty's winning. Oh, okay, well, Dusty's losing. No, oh, Dusty seemed to no hitter, and but. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know if he's going to keep going. I would suspect that he would just say, "Screw it, walk away." I got it.
Yep.
There's got to be other things. There's got to be other things in life besides baseball that he wants to do. So
was he 73?
Oh, something like that. I mean, yeah.
Go enjoy your life, man. I mean, go live outside of baseball for for whatever time you have left. So anyways, love Dusty. Happy for him. Congrats. And
Astros, whatever.
But here's the thing. You know what that means? It means the off season is here, and we're recording this on the 9th. And by rule, free agency always starts technically like 5 days after the World Series concludes. So that was last Saturday. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow makes 5 days. So tomorrow, when you're hearing this, it'll be November 10th. And that means that teams and players can communicate and start working on discussions and seeing they're a fit for each other. So we're going to start seeing some moves and some free agent signings. It's the best time of the baseball year outside of the season for sure. So we have been doing a little like unit focus. We did the rotation. Rob and I, after a very lengthy 1.5 minute discussion, said, screw it. We're moving off of it. We're scrapping that. We're not doing unit focus. We want to talk about free agency, and we're hitting it heavy tonight. So, and before we get into that, though, just want to talk about, there was some official, I mean, we knew this was coming anyways. They're like hardly even worth talking about, but officially now, Jose Alvarez, Brandon Belt, Shelby Miller, Jock Peterson, and Carlos Rodon are officially free agents. So, especially in regards to like the names there, like Jose Alvarez and Shelby Miller, whatever, in my opinion. If you've been a long time listener of us, you know how we feel about Brandon Belt, but he's been around for over a decade now. I feel like he's earned respect for us to like give our thoughts on it. In regards to Brandon Belt, Rob, like odds of him coming back next year.
You can't rule him out, but I would say I give him a 25% chance of coming back. But
that's fair.
I would assume a team maybe his Texas Rangers. He's from Texas. Maybe a team like that, Old Bochy can, they can reunite. But I don't want him. I don't want him back next year. We need to move off that. But I'd say 25%.
Get younger, get more athletic.
Get better.
Yeah, would it surprise me if he's back? I don't know. If it is, it's got to be hey, it's my last year. Here's a good discount, and I'll do what I can when I'm healthy. I wouldn't be like so against that, but I'm ready to move on from Brandon Belt. The other ones, Jock Peterson and Carlos Rodon, those are kind of bigger names. Obviously, Jock Peterson was an all-star this last year. In his 1 year, he was with San Francisco. I think there's a decent chance that the Giants would like to bring back Jock Peterson. I don't know what kind of role. We were talking about this with our Giants chatter buds the other day in our little admin chat. I don't know what kind of role Jock Peterson would like to have in his next upcoming deal, because it's likely going to be for more than a year unless they offer him that qualifying offer and he accepts it. We don't know what the qualifying offer number is yet, I don't believe, but I think last year it was in between 18 and 19, somewhere in there. So probably something not too different from that. I don't know. You think? I think there's an okay chance. Like I could see like 40 to 50% chance that Jock's back next year. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say between 40 and 50 as well. Local guy. He seemed to like it here. He didn't seem to like losing. He kind of made that very open and known in August and September. And I became a bigger Jock Peterson fan when he started talking about that stuff. Like, oh man, it just hit me. I'm gonna miss the playoffs. Man, this sucks. And I'm like, yeah, Jock, it does suck. So why don't you get your ass out there and come re-sign on the cheap and start recruiting some better players.
But there's a lefty on the mound tonight, Rob. So we're going to have to keep him on the bench. Maybe later in the game he could pinch hit. They bring in a righty out of the pen.
Whatever.
Carlos Rodon obviously had a the best year of his major league career. But had injury histories in the past. We don't know if he's going to be back. I'd say probably somewhere in between 10 to 20% he's back. That might be a little generous. We know, like, when Carlos Rodon is healthy and he's on, like, he is a top tier arm. So would I like to have him back? I would if he stays healthy, but that's no guarantee. I think the Giants move on and go in a different direction, even though they may be in talks to see if, try and get him back. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's about a 5% chance, maybe. I mean, he's gonna demand a king's ransom basically this offseason. Not what Aaron Judge is gonna get, but as far as pitchers go, with him coming off a year where he didn't get hurt and he was solid for 162, and the only IL stint I think was a phantom IL stint. So yeah, he's gonna get pretty much whatever he wants, and I think the Giants have more resources to go out and get pitching on the cheap, and a lot of more holes to fill in the field. So about 5%.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
good way to put it in regards to the resources to the rotation, because they've done it. I mean,
they know how.
Look what they did with Wood, DeSclafani, Gosman, now Rodon. So I think the Giants are a little more confident in, hey, we can go find a free agent guy and make it work, even if it's not a big ass name.
Sure.
So before we get started tonight, shout out King's Cast Ryan.
I already cracked mine, but yeah.
Yeah. I got a Firestone Hypnosis IPA. So I'm just trying to get through my Firestone. I know I'm like my third week here. What are you drinking?
I got a Numb and Number Double Hazy IPA.
Oh, hell yeah.
What
is that, like 9%?
I think it is 8.2.
Ooh, nice.
From Fall River Brewing Company. Shout out.
Fall River, where's that at?
Up by Reading.
Okay, still Cali. All right.
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, did you happen to see? We are the Say Hey podcast. We got to slip this in real quick. Have you seen the Willie Mays documentary on HBO Max yet?
I have not yet.
Okay, neither have I.
Been really busy with work the last couple of weeks, especially at night when I usually have free time to catch up on stuff. But looking forward to it. Hearing nothing but great things, so I recommend it. Everybody go out and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it just came out yesterday, the 8th. So I have yet to see it as well, but I am excited to see it. I've heard it's moving, it's exciting, it's funny. So it's got all the good things, and I believe Willie Mays is involved in it too. Like he's interviewed throughout it. So
yes,
yeah. So definitely excited about that. All right, now this is where the fun starts. Like I said at the beginning, free agency officially starts tomorrow, or if you're hearing it right now, today. November 10th. So we decided we're going to talk about our top 10 free agents this offseason. Now, this isn't in particular to the Giants. This is just overall. But we know that the Giants are going to be heavily involved in discussions and trying to bring in 1, 2, maybe 3 of these guys. So it's exciting, man. There's a lot of good names that are going to be hitting the market starting tomorrow and that are going to be available. And from what we've heard, at least, and like if you've been listening to the last couple episodes, Rob and I are believe it when we see it kind of guy. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see I put some of the bigger names down there. We got DeGrom, Judge, Turner, Correa. Mm-hmm. So here on the overlay. So we're gonna talk about our top. We did our own list, top 10 free agents this offseason. So Rob, are we ready to discuss some free agents?
Let's go.
Rob pointed out before we started that some of our best episodes are when we do lists. So I hope it's another banger up there.
It's true.
I did have a couple honorable mention, and I feel like one of these guys, I'm going to get some heat from Giants fans, but whatever. I don't really care. My number one honorable mention guy, I had Josh Bell. Obviously got traded with Juan Soto to San Diego.
Yep.
Lots of power, plays for space, fairly young still.
Sure.
My other guy out of 3 was Brandon Drury, another guy that went to the Padres. I have him just on the outside, I know, but can play multiple positions. Would fill anything for the Giants. Had a good year with the bat, hit for a lot of power, and definitely helped the Padres get into like mid-October. And then my other honorable mention, surprisingly enough, Carlos Rodon, and I only have him on the outside because I am afraid of his injury history. That's it. The talent, and we know he's going to get paid in the next month or two within that time span. And he's earned it. Like I said, he's a top tier arm when he's healthy, when he's right. But I just fear that injury bug coming back and getting him. Hopefully not, and we'll see. But Carlos Rodon also a part of my honorable mention. So
that's a good three little pigs.
Little pigs.
My 3 little pigs, my honorable mentions.
Oh, you do have them. All right.
I do. I just threw them together when you brought it up before we started. Tyler Anderson. That's solid. One right there. Former Giant.
Great year.
Had a great year. I really think the analytical part of the game has kind of helped change his performance because the less amount of innings he's thrown, the more durable he's been throughout the year. So really like him. And he would be a lefty, and nice little need for any rotation, not just the Giants. Andrew Benintendi, who I like to refer to as a healthy version of Tommy La Stella. Yeah, hits from the left side, makes contact. Hit 304 last year. OBP 373. He slugged 399, which is whatever. But 54 runs scored, 2.8 F4. So not bad. And I think the Yankees have bigger needs. So I think he'll be out there for pretty much any team.
Sure.
And then my last one, and I'm throwing him in there just because I've been a big fan of his for a long time. Great story. Trey Mancini. I don't think Houston really has room for him coming back next year, and he was off and on last year in 2022. Didn't get a lot of PT there in the World Series, but still, he hit 239, slugged 391, OBP at 319, not bad. 18 homers, 63 RBIs, but he's been pretty consistent though the last 6-7 years, and mostly on bad teams. So I'd like to see him be a stronghold in a good lineup here this next year. It probably won't be the Giants, but
he could be a nice.
I really like.
He could be a nice, not like super expensive addition to a contender, I think.
Exactly.
Someone that's, he's kind of like a B type free agent who you're not going to need to break the bank open on, and he could be a nice little piece to come in and help. So, yeah.
Would you take him over Brandon Belt?
Anyways, we're going to move on to – no, I'm just playing. Yeah, I absolutely would take Trey Mancini over Brandon Belt just because I know he'll probably stay on the field more. Right. And he's younger. Okay, so I'm gonna start with number 10, and I'm gonna start with, and again, these are not for the Giants, even though I have seen his name leaked to the Giants. These are just free agents in general. So number 10, Wilson Contreras, catcher for the Cubs. Why are you looking at me like that?
Go ahead.
Oh God. Oh, good. We disagree right off the bat. Listen, he's gonna be 31 in May. The reason I'll tell you, Rob, so you can get that look off your face. The reason he's made my top 10 is because he's a catcher, and there's not a lot of free agent catchers that are like, hey, like we need to go get this guy. I mean, a couple years ago with Rio Muto going to Philly, there's not a lot of like good catchers out there, and this guy has been pretty consistent the last few years. I mean, in 2019, 24 home runs, 21 home runs in 21, 22 home runs in 2022. He's had a WAR of 2.3 last year, a 3.3 this year. You know, he's not fantastic defensively by any means, but when you can get your hands on a power hitting catcher that'll contribute, you know, they're rare. So that's why he is on my list. I'm not saying Wilson Contreras is like an all-star level player, even though he has been an all-star, but that's why he's on my list, because he is a catcher and there's not many out there like him. So that's why he's there. Number 10.
No, I made that face because he's my number 10 as well. And
well, the opposite.
I'm sorry. Right there on the list.
I'm sorry.
Right there. It just,
I apologize.
Yeah, and for a lot of reasons you just said. Yeah, I mean, 3.3 F4, 815 OPS. And I mean, was able to perform on those bad Cubs teams these last couple years, kind of staying afloat. Yeah, don't let the 55 RBIs fool you. There weren't a lot of guys on base, but yeah, like you said, he's a catcher. You know, there's just not a lot out there outside of like last high profile catcher on the free agent market was JT Realmuto a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's, you know, these catchers, these elite catchers are just very, very rare to get your hands on. Like, there's a reason the Giants never let Buster Posey get free agency. And you look at a guy like James McCann 2 years ago, he signed a 4-year, $40 million contract, and he sucks.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's not very good. So it just shows you how much these teams value catchers. So, yeah, for those reasons, like you just said, James McCann.
Wilson
Contreras is number 10.
All right, so I apologize.
James McCann cannot get this discussion.
I thought you were giving me a look because you're like, "Are you serious?" But no, you're good. Yeah, of course we start off with the same guy just because we would. But yeah, and you know what? I do want to give this caveat before we continue. Like, we could go into contract stuff, but a lot of projections haven't been coming out yet in regards to that. So I don't want to jump the gun and look way stupid later on when it comes to numbers for deals. So, you know, that could be something we touch on at a later date. Number 9 for me, or do you want to go number 9? We can do the snake thing. Doesn't matter.
Let's snake. Yeah.
Go ahead. You're number 9.
Number 9 for me is Brandon Nimmo. I don't even want to know. But yeah, 5.4 F4 last year, just very, very valuable there in New York. You know, he was the catalyst to a really good lineup setting the table. Yeah, I mean, hit 273, OBP 367. You know, the Giants like that, and a slugging of 433. That kind of stands out to me a little bit. But he got a lot of pitches to hit in that lineup. You know, he's a guy that teams didn't want to walk because of the dudes behind him. So he provides a lot of what's not left in Major League Baseball anymore. Yeah, he gets on base. He's not afraid to take a walk. So, and I think he's one of the true leadoff hitters left. I mean, he had 16 home runs, and that's not a lot, you know, in this day and age. That's like, people scoff at that now. So, yeah, he's one of the final remaining true leadoff hitters out there. So, Brandon Nimmo, number 9.
Rob, you're not going to believe this. My number 9 is Brandon Nimmo.
God damn.
I believe it. So for 10 and 9, of course, we start off same guys. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, this guy that stayed healthy this last year, 151 games, you know, and played all of them in center field, which the Giants could use is consistency in the outfield, especially in center field. Kind of have a foundation for the outfield.
Right.
But yeah, 16 home runs, 102 runs, which is great. Gets on base a lot. His K rate to me is a good thing. It's come down through the years. I mean, in 2020, shortened season, but just at over 19%, 20% in 2021, but just over 17% in 2022. So he's putting the ball in play a lot. He's a good athletic guy. The power's kind of whatever to me. I think his bat would be great. Left-handed bat, bring it into Oracle Park, use the grass and get the ball more. Especially, he'd probably be a guy that would consistently hit at the top of the lineup. And if I believe it or not, I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me. I could get them in front of me, but recently I looked. His splits are pretty good. Like he doesn't really have platoon split numbers. He can hit against both types of arms. So yeah, I think Brandon Nimmo is an option. We've heard a lot about him. And yeah, if we're talking specifically Giants, he could be a realistic option for the Giants.
Fans love Hunter Pence. They love Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to move on to number 8. And I have Dansby Swanson. Okay. So Rob doesn't have him there. Good. I looked at you immediately. No,
I promise.
Now, Dansby Swanson, number one thing that sticks out to me is he plays. In 2017, first full year as a starter, 144 games. 2018, 136. 2019, 127. 2020, all 60 games. 2021, 160. 2022, 162. The guy stays healthy and he plays. He's really developed a little more power the last couple seasons. 2021, 27 bombs. This last year in 22, 25. This was a guy that was strongly noted. This is arguably, the best defensive shortstop in the game. Dansby Swanson's always been known for his glove, but his bat has come along very well the last couple years. I know the Braves are doing a great job locking up their core guys. They have like 7 or 8 dudes that are, locked up before their primes, and they're doing great things. So it would not surprise me, even though Dansby Swanson is going to be 29 to start this next season. He's in his prime, but I wonder if he's going to be that next Brave guy that sticks around. And the Braves front office has been doing great things the last couple of years, locking up these guys early. So
very true.
Dansby Swanson doesn't walk a ton, does strike out some, but overall you'd be getting a good shortstop. So he's my number 8.
That's a good one. I also have a shortstop at number 8, but it's Xander Bogaerts.
Okay.
What about Xander Bogaerts? Okay. For whatever reason, the Red Sox didn't really want to extend him this last year, and I think it's going to fuck him because he's going to fall in line with all these other shortstops that we're going to have on this list. I mean, another solid year. I mean, he's 30, so I mean, he's right there. So I'll be interested to see what kind of length he gets from whoever signs him. But hey, another great year. Hit 307, 377 OBP. 456 slugging, only 15 home runs, which was a little surprising to me, but 73 RBIs, a 134 WRC plus, a 6.1 FWAR. So why the Red Sox didn't want to invest in him when they have a lot of problems going into next season is beyond me. But Bogaerts, he falls right in line with all these other shortstops on the market. I think for a lot of teams, you sign him, he's your best player right away. If the Giants sign him, he's their best player right away.
Yeah.
And Brandon Crawford can learn to go play somewhere else.
No, you're right. This is arguably the best shortstop free agent class ever. I mean, there's 4 to 5 solid dudes, and we're just scratching the surface. I'm sure we'll get to some more in a little bit too. So that was your number 8, correct? So you get to go again. Who's your number 7?
Sweet. Number 7 for me is old man Justin Verlander, my idol. Married Kate Upton. Sign him for that reason. You get Kate Upton in the ballpark. Whoever gets it.
Garlic fries.
Eating garlic fries. Oh, can you imagine? Oh man, I'd be into it. I don't care. But okay, this guy is he's freaking 39 years old, coming off Tommy John last year, and what does he do? He's probably gonna win the Cy Young. They haven't announced it yet, but 1.75 ERA. Opponents hit 184 off him in an era where everybody uses the DH. The pitchers don't hit anymore. Just shit like that. Even though he's turning 40 in February, the age concerns me for sure. For whoever wants to get him, another guy I'm very curious to see what kind of contract he gets. I think he gets something similar to what Max Scherzer got last year.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, maybe what did Scherzer get last year? I'm trying to think.
3 for like 130.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, he's old, but man, he's coming off a Cy Young season, and when everybody had written him off, and it's just, it's hard to think he's not going to keep doing this. I mean, he's slowly becoming the Tom Brady of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, good point. My number 7, I'm also going with a veteran, but I'm going to go Jose Abreu. And I know that he had a down year in regards to power, and I don't know, that is concerning. That's why he's lower on my list here. He did only have 15 home runs, but 75 RBIs, 85 runs. But here's the thing with Jose Abreu that I mean, if we want to talk about Giants specifically, this is a guy that stays healthy, surprisingly enough. Weird. I mean, I'll go through his whole career here because he's had 9 years in the major leagues. He's going to be 36 in when is it? In January. So he'll play the entire year at age 36. So he's starting to get up there in age. But listen to this. 2014, 145 games. 2015, 154, 159, 156, 128, 159. 2020, 60 games. Played every game. 2021, 152, and then this last year in 2022, 157 games. Folks, you can't argue that. Like, Jose Abreu stays on the field, something that, if we're going to talk Giants in particular, something that they've been itching for years, because number 9 can't, play 9 innings because he's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
He's not going to walk a lot. His strikeout rates are okay for a big power guy, but I mean, his WRC plus through the years, every single year it's been over 100. I think his lowest year he ever had was in 2018, 114. The last 3 years, 164, 125, 137. He's coming off a year where he had a 3.9 FWAR. Jose Abreu, power, big guy, stays healthy, and a big power right-handed bat, which the Giants need. So, again, I know we're not like talking Giants specifically, but there are some guys that will stick out. Like, hey, in particular, Jose Abreu would arguably be a good candidate for a free agent guy for the Giants this year. But yeah, my number 7 for overall free agents, Jose Abreu.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I get to go again, huh?
You'd go again, buddy.
Number 6.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Number 6 is where I have Xander Bogaerts. And I don't need to go on forever, but guy who is 30 right now, just turned 30 last month, coming off a great year with the Red Sox. And it feels like he's been around forever, and he kind of has, because even though I feel like he's not super old, but yeah. And another guy that I keep looking at games played, like, he stays relatively healthy, and the Giants need guys that stay on the field, stay healthy. They're more athletic. But yeah, like you mentioned, another guy who's a little down this year on the power, only 15 home runs. But who knows? Maybe a change of scenery. Xander Bogaerts is my number 6. Very good ball player. Very good shortstop. So we'll see.
That's a good one, Dougie. That's a good one. For me, number 6, you already mentioned him. It's Dansby Swanson. And I got to mention right out the gates, as you did, I'm pretty sure the Braves are going to re-sign him. He falls right into that, like, when we first talked about doing this, I had every intention of putting Edwin Diaz on this list, and the Mets took care of that right away. Mm-hmm. So I can see the Braves re-signing him any day now, but yeah, I mean, didn't do much with the bat early in his career, but he really flipped the script here these last couple of years. I mean, this past year hits 277, 329 OBP, which is incredible. 447 slugging, so 776 OPS, hit 25 homers. And when you think of him, you don't think of the power. You just think of, defense. So let's hit him 7th, let's hit him 8th. And yeah, he's really flipped that. And he's 27 right now. He turns 28 in February, so he's gonna get a little bit better. And that's why he's a little above Bogaerts on my list, but because I think he can become a superstar. He's already there. He's a star right now, but he can become a superstar if he keeps going. And I think it would be in his best interest to stay in Atlanta, where they are very committed to winning and securing that core. But if not, whoever gets them, you're getting a potential superstar in my eyes.
Yep. Good point. Number 5, it's also yours.
Number 5, yeah. I think this is where we are going to differ a little bit, but I went with Carlos Rodon, and with the injury history, yeah, it's there, but I think the formula that this last year, this it's a copycat league. I think teams are gonna mirror what the Giants did. The dude, he never wants to come out. He's a lot like Max Scherzer, his guy you never want to take out of the game because you think he's going to throw something or he's going to hit you. Poor Tyro Estrada took that helmet to the dome in Arizona, because Rodon I forget if he got pulled or he gave him a dinger or something. He was pissed, and he kicks the helmet and it hits poor Tyro, and it's awful, but him staying healthy this year, I think that's such a good step for him in his career, because he really hasn't. A 2.8 ERA, a 33.4 strikeout rate, opponents hit 200. That shows you how dominant Verlander was. Opponents hit 184, because we watched every Rodon start, almost pitch by pitch, and I feel like opponents hit like 150 off him.
Yeah.
but 200 is nothing to sneeze at. 1.03 whip. As we mentioned earlier, I think he's gonna get a king's ransom this offseason, and as long as he doesn't get overworked, as long as he doesn't get in his own way, man, he's gonna be a freaking find for somebody out there. But it won't be the Giants, I don't think.
And I just want to put this out there. I love Carlos Rodon, and I am super fascinated with the year he just had. The two things that stick out for me positively, like for his 2022 that he just had, he made those 32 starts, could have made the other one. Like, we all believe that, the last one.
Right.
Didn't, sat out for probably a good reason. And then he was still hitting 96 to 98 consistently, in the 5th, in the 6th innings in September. Which is such a good thing to see from a guy who has, struggled with injury histories in the past. But he goes out there and he's throwing hard and he's dominant. And his first really, like, from April to September, October season, he stayed healthy. Now, yes, if he could have put together the year, like, I know he had a great year in 2021, but he dealt with some arm injuries as well. If he would have had back-to-back healthy arm, like, he's probably sitting top 3 on my list right now. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. But I just fear that at some point, Carlos Rodon is going to get hurt again. I hope I'm wrong, because I love seeing him pitch. He's entertaining as shit. Hope he can find a way. So,
hope so too.
Good
Wherever
pick.
he goes.
Good pick. Number 5 for me, you already had him, Justin Verlander. And yes, the dude had a fantastic year. I'm waiting for his numbers to come up because I want to look at him again. But I know he stayed pretty damn healthy all year, 1.75 ERA. And I know he's had his issues with the postseason, and I just don't care about that. Like, it's kind of like, and I'm not saying Justin Verlander's going to go down and have the Hall of Fame career that Clayton Kershaw is, but Justin Verlander's going to be a Hall of Famer. And, I'm so mad at my computer right now. Nothing's showing up. But yeah, this is going to be a guy. He's going to be 40 this next year. But could I see him get a, 2? I don't know if he'll get 3 years, but I can see him getting 2 years for a high AAV, and he could absolutely go into a rotation and be the 1 or 2 guy somewhere. Most teams will 1. So Justin Verlander, if he stays healthy, stuff is still very, very good. He's my number 5.
Who comes off of Tommy John and wins a Cy Young?
Well, we'll see. He's still got to get around Dylan Cease. No, I'm just playing. It could very much well be Verlander.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it my number 4 now? Okay.
Yes.
I'll go number 4, and sticking with a right-handed pitcher who, when he is right, is arguably the best pitcher in the game. That's Jacob deGrom.
Yes.
I have him at number 4. It's funny because I think we pair him with like Syndergaard and Matt Harvey in those like mid 2000s Mets years. But I'll say this, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I think you'd probably like not laugh at it. But when Jacob deGrom is healthy and he's on the mound, he's the best pitcher in the game. He's the best pitcher in the game.
I think so.
Yeah. The only thing is his, durability. I mean, the last 3 years, 2020, he made 12 starts. That's pretty much a full season there, 68 innings. He was really good. 2.38 ERA, 2.73 expected ERA, 2.26 FIP. 2021, just the 15 starts, but arguably the greatest 15 starts ever. 92 innings, a 14.28 Ks per 9, a 1.08 ERA. In 15 starts, he had a 4.9 FWAR. I mean, that is incredible. It's incredible. And then this last year, I don't think he made a start until, was it July or August? And he appeared in 11 games, 64 and a third, 3.08 ERA, 2.24 xERA, and a 2.13 FIP. Again, wasn't fully healthy, but I mean, he's going to get paid because someone's going to take the risk and give him the years that he wants, because when he is right, and I'm just telling you right now, I fully believe that Jacob deGrom is going to be a Los Angeles Dodger. I don't know. I just have that feeling. I know it sucks, but man, if you add this with a healthy Bueller and Urias, like, dude, look out. I could totally see him going to the Dodgers. But anyways, he's going to be 35 in June. So about half this next year, he'll be 34. There's nothing else I can say. When he's right, he's hitting triple digits consistently, 99 to 101. He's just going to dominate you. Best pitcher in the game when he's out there. Jacob deGrom is my number 4. And if, again, just like I said with Rodon, if he didn't have as big of an injury history, honestly, even at age 34, he might be my number 1 free agent.
Right.
Yeah,
seriously. I mean, wiffle ball shit with him, but don't worry, I'll get to him here in a minute.
I'm sure you will.
But my number 4 for now, another shortstop, Carlos Correa. And we talk about a guy. I mean, he's 28. It feels like he's been in the league for 10 years. I mean, he was he's one of those dudes where, like, I feel like the Astros called him up when he was like 20, and he's just been around forever. Like he was a staple in the whole scandal and stuff. Like I feel like everything that's happened recently with Astros, Carlos Correa's been there, but he leaves and has a year with Minnesota. Shocker, opts out, and he didn't disappoint in 1 year in Minnesota. Target Field is a big place, and he hit 291 for a guy that hits for a lot of power. He's still hitting for average. I mean, that's superstar shit right there.
Yeah.
I mean, OBP 336, very nice. Slugging for 467, which leads to an 834 OPS. 22 home runs. And by his standards, that's not a lot. But again, Target Field is a big place. I'd say it's bigger than Oracle, especially the center. But a 4.4 at F4, just a stud. And the reason I have him so high, aside from everything I just said, I feel like he'd be willing to switch positions as well. He's a big guy, and I mean, I think I said this a while back. You know, my dream is for Marco Luciano to be like Carlos Correa. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my dream. He's a big middle infielder, but I feel like you could move him around, and he probably
cannon of an arm.
He makes every throw look easy. Everything he gets to, but it just seems like for a guy with the offensive skill set that he has, he'll be willing to move around later in his career. And yeah, I feel like he should be like 33 or 34, but he's only 28.
I know. It's crazy. So
it really is. So yeah, he's superstar level. He's a franchise changer, and yeah, we'll get to Trey Turner here in a minute, I'm sure. But God, I hope if Trey Turner leaves the Dodgers, they don't go after this guy.
Oh yeah, great point. Point. So he was your number 4?
Number correct? 4.
So who's your number 3?
My number 3 is, and you just talked about him, is Jacob deGrom. Yeah,
I figured.
Wiffle ball shit. I mean, that the K's in his 14.8, I believe you said. I believe that's right. In his first 15 starts per 9. What the hell, man? Like that's just
stupid.
Yeah, you like if you don't like pitching, or if you go to the ballpark and you're a big fan of hitting, deGrom's out there, you're going to the bathroom, real quick, or you're getting a beer when he's out there, because the other team, they're not putting the ball in play. And I forget who they played. There was one game where he had a no-no going, and they laid down a bunt, and I think Tempers got going. I think it was the Reds, but
probably they're always in the middle of that shit.
Yeah, they're always in the middle of bullshit. But but yeah, I mean that's how it was. Like, there were teams just like, okay, our first 5-6 guys struck out. We got to put a ball in play, just to get the dugout alive. And yeah, the only reason he isn't number 1 or is just the injury history, and it's significant. I mean, the elbow issues are just, it's coming every year, and that's the shitty part. But still, a 3.08 ERA, finished year with 102 strikeouts despite the injury, but 100%, he's got to be the best pitcher in the league when he's on.
Yes, 100% agree.
Yeah, and he gets lost, with like you said, like Syndergaard and guys like that, and Zach Wheeler when he was there. God, the Mets had so much pitching over the years. It's ridiculous. How do they not win more? But
should have. Yeah,
and injuries pile up, and I know it won't be for the Giants because the Giants don't give pitchers money. But man, if he can stay healthy, he's another guy who's a franchise changer. And I got to believe the Mets are gonna retain him. I feel like they're invested in him more than anybody else. Where it's like we know how good he is, but he's just another guy I don't want going to like the Cardinals or the Dodgers or something like that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Gross.
My number 3, I'm going Carlos Correa. Like you said, big body guy. Dude's 6'4", 220. I mean, rocket arm, plays really good defense still. Last 2 years, 6.2 F4, 4.4 F4. It was interesting to see the change of going from Houston, more of a hitter-friendly ballpark, then going to Minnesota, kind of colder, open air.
Yeah.
And he still hit for 22 bombs, like you said, 64 ribbies, 70 runs. I mean, what you're getting with Carlos Correa. I think the thing that puts him maybe above some of the other guys like Bogarts and Swanson is he's still 27. And I mean, he's a young 27. He just turned 27 or 28. I'm sorry.
Right.
In late September. So he's going to be 28 years old for the majority of this next season in 2023. I mean, Carlos Correa, he's a really good shortstop.
He's a beast. With him. Superstar.
So, all right. So, do I go number 2 here? I do go number 2 here.
Yep, your turn.
Okay. This is where I'm going to be on an island of my own, and you already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Aaron Judge at number 2.
Okay.
30 years old, coming off arguably the greatest American League hitting season ever. I mean, 157 games, 62 home runs, 131 RBIs. Rob loves, this is his favorite stat, 16 stolen bags for Aaron Judge in 2022.
Nobody talks about it.
Nearly a 16% walk rate, which is ridiculous. An ISO of 375. And the last number I'll leave with, well, like you said a couple guys ago, you hit for power, but you still hit for average. Aaron Judge hit 311 this year, the 425 OBP, 207 weighted runs created plus. He was over twice as good as the league average.
Gross.
And an 11.4 F4. Unreal. I don't need to say much more about Aaron Judge because you're seeing him everywhere these days, especially in regards to the Giants. By the way, go back, listen to episode 85 as we talk about Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge only. So, you know what you're getting with him. A lot of power. Only reason that, and if you're under a rock, you don't know who my number 1 is, but I'll talk to him about him in a couple minutes, obviously. But the only reason he's number 2 is because he's dealt with injuries in the past, and he's 30. Like Aaron Judge is going to be 31 in late April. So Not old by any means, but this is a guy that's probably going to garner a 7, 8, 9 year deal, and those later years worry me. Big guy, 6'7", 282 pounds. So I don't know about his durability in long run, but the talent is definitely there. Aaron Judge, one of the biggest free agent names in recent memory. He's my number 2.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to do that. So
Damn right.
Yeah. My number 2 is Trey Turner. He's probably my favorite player in baseball right now. Like top to bottom. I take him every year in fantasy. He's just awesome. Just the only shitty part was, thanks, Trey. Yeah, the only shitty part is he's been a Dodger the last couple of years, and that has just killed me to the core. And then they got Freddie Freeman, so it was like double down. God, like 2 of my favorite players, Dodgers, but beside the point. Absolutely outstanding year. Hit 298, 343 OBP, 466 slugging, 21 bombs, 27 steals, 6.3 F4. I mean, the guy, he's so overshadowed in that Dodger lineup because of Mookie Betts and Freeman and all these other guys. It's just an embarrassment of riches they have over there. But man, he's one of the last remaining 5-tool players in baseball. I think that's kind of where we're at with him.
Yep.
There's nothing he doesn't do right. We talk about, I don't think he's coming to the Giants, but I mean, he's got experience at second base, so you can move him around a little bit. Sorry, I muted myself there. But
you're good. Go for it. I was gonna say, God, is it me or you? No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was me. But yeah, he's open to move around, and he's a cornerstone player for any franchise to build around. But look, for whatever reason, he's really set on going back east. I keep hearing, which would be great because that means the Dodgers won't bring him back. But then they'll probably just sign the next best player. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Trey Turner for me. I want to call him 1A, but for the sake of the list, 2. And yep, my number 1 is Brandon Belt. What can we say about Brandon Belt?
Great call.
Yeah, just screw him. We're gonna miss him. But Aaron Judge, of course. I mean, 62 dingers, 131 RBIs. 11 OPS, like you said, like just absolutely
stupid,
gross. 133 runs scored, 686 slugging, 425 OBP. So it strikes out a lot, but you don't really give a shit when he's doing all the other stuff. But I mean, the guy damn near won the Triple Crown. Like, in that doesn't happen anymore. I think Miguel Cabrera, right? Won the Triple Crown in 2012, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's the last time that's happened, and he was damn near close. I believe he could have. I think all he needed was like another hit or two on game 162, and they sat him.
Something like that. Yeah, he was right there.
Yeah, and he was right there, but they left him out. But obviously, Giants fans are really in their feelings about him right now, and as so am I. Number 1 player on the list. Number 1 player, probably the top free agent in baseball since, I don't know, Barry Bonds. I mean, I really don't know. It's been a long time to compare.
Shit, maybe.
I mean, Bryce. I mean, no, not Bryce Harper. Screw that. It's got to be Barry Bonds.
Probably
the most coveted free agent out there since Barry Bonds. And the crazy part is, I mean, of course, 16 steals. Doug, you mentioned that. Of course. Yeah. And the thing is, he sneaks into those steals too, like Barry used to at the end of his career, when people just didn't pay attention to him. So, yeah. But anywhere he goes, it's fans are coming in. He doesn't just change a team. He changes an organization. He changes a franchise. So, I mean, you're going to get asses in the seats if your team signs him.
Yeah.
I hope it's the Giants. It won't be the Giants, but he's got to be number 1, at least on my list.
Rob, you're not gonna believe it, but I too have Brandon Belt as number one on my. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna catch some heat for this. I don't care. I have Trey Turner at number one, and reason being is, yeah, he's 30 years old. Or he's 29. He's gonna be 30 in June. But like you mentioned, this guy is one of the few rare like 5-tool guys. Like we already knew that he was a really good defender. He could cover a lot of ground because he's arguably the fastest guy in the league. He steals so many bags every year. The last 2 years, he's combined for 59 stolen bags. And then, he hits for average every year and year out. But then the last couple years, he's developed power. 19 home runs. 2020 in 59 games, 12 home runs. In 2021, 28 home runs. Then he had 21 this last year in 2022. It's like, so this dude's going to go ahead and add power. Like, okay. So Trey Turner is my number one because he stays on the field. He's missed minimal amount of games. He's coming off a year where he played in 160 games for the Dodgers. If we want to talk Giants specific, like this guy can come in and he has experience at second base. If you want to play second base in Crawford's last year, and then, you can spell him whenever they're facing a lefty on the mound or Crawford needs a day. The Giants could absolutely do that. I would love for the Giants to bring in Trey Turner. I'd love to bring in Aaron Judge too. Trust me. I know.
Bring them all.
But yeah, get as many as you can. But yeah, he doesn't walk a lot, but he's never had a strikeout rate over 19.9% in a full season that he's been in. So yeah, Trey Turner is my number one guy. I know he's a little bit older, but the ridiculous contract the Rangers gave Corey Seager before last offseason, that 10-year, like $320 million. I could see like Trey Turner's better than Corey Seager. So why not? I don't know. I know we're not talking money yet because I want to see projections come out. We can kind of get a little more specific into that, but
yeah,
I could definitely see Trey Turner getting something like that for sure. So yeah, that's my number one. That was fun.
No Wade Miley, huh?
Wade Miley is actually my 1C. No, I'm playing. Wade Miley, definitely a future Giant.
It's got to be, right?
I know. Rob's been begging for it for years.
I've been begging for it like 2013.
For years, man. So yeah, November 10th, free agency officially begins. Fun time also too. Make sure you're joined up on Giants Chatter on Facebook. Description below. Click on it. Join up. And we're gonna the next couple weeks we're gonna be pretty busy doing our most wanted free agents from every admin in Giants Chatter, and also putting together our free agent board for where we think these top 15 to 20 free agents are gonna actually end up. So, Rob, fun as always. Top 10 free agents. Any last thoughts before we wrap up here?
No, just excited that we can start, projecting and seeing how the Giants can get better now. In real time, like it's not 3 weeks away anymore. No, it's starting. It's starting like tomorrow. So very exciting. It's way more fun than the World Series.
Yes, I agree. Hey, if you like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us on Believe.com as well. YouTube. If you're on Apple Podcasts, go give us a 5-star review. Leave us some kind words. We appreciate all the support. Yeah, like I said, next few episodes, diving heavy into free agency talk and stuff and all that. So it's going to be fun. So yeah, but until next time, for Say Hey Doug and Say Hey Rob, thank you very much for joining us, and go Giants.
Go Giants.
Say hey, say who, say Willie, say hey, say who, swinging at the plate, say hey, say who, say Willie.